Before we begin, please like this video, share it with someone special, and comment below on which city you're watching from. This way, we can spread this message to more people who need to hear it today. What if this was your last week? Would you wake up complaining or being thankful? Would you spend your hours in petty arguments? Or would you run to hug the one you love? Most of us live as if we have an infinite supply of days. We wake up, go through the motions, and get lost in problems that seem enormous but won't matter in a few years. But we forget a simple truth. Time does not come back. If life told you that there were only 7 days left, what would change now? Maybe you'd turn off your phone to hear your mother's voice more. Maybe you'd put aside your pride and ask someone for forgiveness. Maybe you'd write a message you've always kept hidden. Maybe you'd hug someone without fear. Maybe you'd cry with relief at finally having the courage to be who you are. The truth is, we put everything off. Later seems safe, but later isn't guaranteed. If this were your last week, every morning would taste different. The smell of coffee, the sound of rain, even the traffic would be unique memories. You would look at the sunset not as a repeated spectacle, but as a precious farewell. And do you know what's most curious? The beauty of life has never been hidden. It's always been there, in the simple things, but the fast pace has made us forget. How many times have you truly hugged someone, feeling the warmth and silence of that moment? How many times have you laughed until your stomach hurts, without thinking about tomorrow? How many times have you said, "I love you," without expecting an answer? If this were your last week, would you have the courage to let go of what doesn't make sense? Leave the weight you've been carrying for years? Let go of hurt, comparison, fear. Maybe, in those 7 days, you'd finally realize that long-held dream. Maybe you'd write a book. Maybe you'd sing in public. Maybe you'd travel. Maybe you'd simply look at yourself in the mirror and say, "I lived." Because living is not just existing. To live is to feel. It's allowing yourself to make mistakes, fall, get up. It's choosing love even when it's easier to choose indifference. If it were your last week, would you still care about what others think? Or would you free yourself to dance, laugh out loud, wear what you like, be who you are? Think about it. What seems like a source of shame today may no longer matter in a few days. And what you put off until later may be the very thing that makes the most sense now. Many people only discover this when it's too late. They only realize the value of a hug when they can no longer give one. They only understand the beauty of an ordinary morning when time is running out. But you don't have to wait for the notice to arrive. You can start today. You can turn this day into something memorable. You can exchange automatic for presence. If this were your last week, would you hold on to resentment or make room for peace? Would you count your mistakes or be grateful for the lessons learned? Life is too short to hold grudges, too short to swallow dreams, too short not to say what you feel. Do you know what you can do now? Take a deep breath. Look at who is next to you. Send a message to someone you miss. Open your heart, even if it hurts. Because nothing is more liberating than living without regrets. You don't control time, but you do control how you choose to use it. And sometimes the simplest choice is the one that changes everything. A phone call, an apology, an "I love you" said without expecting anything in return. And if it were your last week, would you choose the silence of solitude or the company of those you love? Would you choose to accumulate things or to share memories? Would you choose to chase what was never yours or to cherish what was always close? Life is fragile. A breath, an instant, an unexpected turn. And it is precisely this fragility that makes it so precious. If we knew the clock was running out, maybe we would laugh more at our own failures. Maybe we would be more grateful for the small miracles of each day. Maybe we would love more without measuring the return. The question is, why wait? Why wait until the countdown begins? Why not choose now, today, at this very moment, to live as if it were your last week? It's not about racing against time, but about honor the time. It's not about living in fear of the end, but about living intensely until the end. And I ask you, if this were your last week, what would you do differently? The answer is right there inside you. And maybe what you need is not more time, but more courage. Courage to speak, courage to love, courage to forgive, courage to live. If this reflection touched your heart, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and comment here which city you're watching from. I appreciate you staying this far. May each day be lived as if it were unique. May each moment be remembered not for how long it lasted, but for how much it was worth. Because in the end, Life is not measured in days. It is measured in intensity.